Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is always a special time in America, but this year, the blessings of Thanksgiving are especially meaningful.
After being apart last year, we have a new appreciation for those little moments we can't plan or replicate. The music of laughter in a warm, full kitchen, the thump of small feet making big sounds, the circle of faces crowded around our dining room table, glowing in the candlelight.
You know, as we gather together again, our table and our hearts are full of grace and gratitude for all those we love. And as Commander-in-Chief, I'm especially grateful to our service members and their families for the sacrifices to our nation.
While we celebrate together, many of those military families will be apart from their loved ones. Whether your spouse is deployed or you've settled into yet another base, the holidays just aren't the same without the people and the communities that make this holiday special. We are so grateful for your service.
As we give thanks for what we have, we also keep in our hearts those who we lost and those who have lost so much, and those who have an empty seat at their kitchen table or their dining room table this year because of this virus or another cruel twist of fate or accident. We pray for them.
As Joe and I have traveled this year, we have seen and been so inspired by the unbreakable threads that unite us all: family and faith, kindness and compassion, a love for this country we call home.
You make us so proud every day to serve as your President and First Lady. And from the Biden family,
framers of our Constitution coined this phrase to draw on the unity they hoped the United States would embody. Today, let us lean on this principle and give thanks for our resilience as a nation. We Americans have always been unified when it comes to helping our neighbors and striving for a more perfect union. Whether it's by serving overseas or serving our local communities, Americans have a commitment to helping those in need. Giving thanks on this holiday has always been one of my favorite traditions. This Thanksgiving, I'm thankful that our country has such a strong dedication to public service and that our people continue to live out the values that we hold dear. From my
yours.
So many Americans that are renting right now can receive additional relief money from the Federal Rental Assistance Program. And in today's video, I will be sharing how you can claim this extra stimulus relief money and what other assistance programs that Congress is working on. You want to be sure to stay until the end of this video, folks, to find out the latest news about the fourth stimulus checks. So the Biden administration is greasing the wheels of the struggling federal rental aid program. Many renters are still being left out, though, and their emergency rental assistance program was born out of the relief bill that Congress passed in December to help low and moderate income households that were behind on their rent and utilities. In the early months of the program, the money was slow to flow, and federal data show that the pace of emergency rental aid going to tenants has increased in recent months. But some experts said that renters continue to face major hurdles, including technology barriers, overcomplicated rules in different states and cities, and long wait times. But after the Supreme Court ended a federal eviction moratorium in August, the level of protection that renters who cannot pay for rent has varied state by state. The Treasury Department has tried to speed up payments by warning local officials that it will begin to take back excess funds from states that lag in distributing the payments and give them to high-performing states. While the agency has given unsuccessful programs some leeway, allowing them to submit their plans to reform and save funds, tenants are running into roadblocks even in places that are considered to be doing well. The agency defines success as using at least 65% of rental assistance money, while the programs most at risk are those that have dispersed less than 30% of their available funds. Now, if you're looking for help with housing costs, you're not alone. I suggest going to the Treasury Department's official website to find rental assistance programs in your local area. You should be able to find out if you're eligible and how much rental assistance program covers from their website. Now, there are 3 states that are sending out surprise $500 stimulus checks. While many Americans are benefiting from these checks, many people are not. Those that are not eligible for payments worth up to $2,000. So after the federal checks, worth $3,400 in total were sent out to all Americans. Many states that are paying their residents with their own stimulus programs. Arizona has a back-to-work program for those that have been out of work. Residents that return to work part-time could get checks worth $1,000, while residents that return to work full-time could get checks worth $2,000. California residents may also qualify for the Golden State stimulus checks that are going out through the end of the year. and around 9 million California residents can expect a check by the end of the year. They need a salary of $30,000 to $75,000 if they want to qualify for these $600 payments. And also, New Mexico has reopened their economic relief program, so go back and to give checks to those that did not qualify for the first round. So I hope that many of you guys will be able to claim this extra stimulus money. But Biden has endorsed a minimum tax on income that well-off corporations report to investors. That's in order to help fund his sweeping Build Back Better plan. The proposed minimum tax on book income would impose a 15% minimum on corporations based on profits that the public report on the financial statement to shareholders. The levy would only apply to companies that reported more than $1 billion in income for 3 years. The Congressional Budget Office determined last week that the tax would generate about $319 billion over the next decade. This would go toward paying for Biden's social spending and climate change plan. But a new analysis by the Tax Foundation shows how the measure could inadvertently hurt private pensions. Pensions which offered guaranteed retirement benefits for employees are less common today due to the rise of defined contribution plans like the 401ks. Everyone, that's all the news I have for you in today's fourth stimulus check update. If you have any more questions about this, leave them in the comments below. I truly appreciate everybody's amazing support. And I want to know what you think about this. Is President Biden doing all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? I want to know your thoughts.
Well, thank you very much. For too long, we have failed to invest properly in our people. Instead, we have allowed big corporations and the wealthy to access all the resources that this nation has to offer without paying their fair share. That stops now. The Build Back Better Act delivers a once-in-a-generation investment to lower the everyday costs that burden working families: health care, housing, child care, education, and more. It is transformational. President Biden was elected. Some people in the press say he wasn't elected to be a transformational president. But everything in this bill that is transformational, he campaigned on. This is a campaign fulfillment. Campaign promise fulfillment. The improvements are true for Americans around the country and for New Yorkers. The bill will dramatically cut healthcare costs for New Yorkers by finally allowing Medicare to directly negotiate drug prices, by capping out-of-pocket prescription costs for seniors, and perhaps most importantly, by setting a $35 a month cap on life-saving insulin. No longer will New Yorkers have to choose between buying their medication or paying their rent. No longer will they have to ration insulin. Sufferers of type 1 diabetes ration insulin. They put their lives at risk because the cost of insulin